Hi guys, good morning. So I'm just going to get straight into it. I posted this picture. I'm going to put the picture here. This picture of the potatoes I made one time, and I know it's just like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 people that asked for the recipe, but I decided to make it into its own video because I feel like it's a very nice recipe. So it's something special. Okay, I came up with it by myself. It's something any Nigerian can do, and I am going grocery shopping. So okay, I keep getting notifications. Okay, so I'm going grocery shopping, so I'm going to pick up some of the ingredients so you guys can actually see how I make it, because usually when I do my cooking videos I just have everything in the house. Right now I'm in the process of moving and I don't have a lot of groceries. I'm going to stop at Walmart right now, just pick up the ingredients and then come back home, and then I'll make it. Hopefully it should take me like less than an hour or like 1 hour to make it. It's very, very easy. And then you guys can tell me what you think in the comment section, if you like it and if you're going to be trying it. All right, let's go. So this is me at Walmart. I had already picked out the potatoes. I know you can't really see it, but when I'm breaking down everything I got from Walmart, you guys will see it more up close. So I was trying to decide between chicken thighs and chicken breasts. I eventually went for the chicken thighs just because I felt like it'd be easier to wash, but I kind of regretted it. I should have gotten the breast instead. Honestly, I just wanted something that was boneless so it'd be easy for me to wash and shred. So next up I went to get eggs, and I got just 6 because I didn't want to get too much groceries. Like I said, I'm moving. I didn't see the point in getting more than 6, so that's what I just did. And next up we're going to get tomato sauce. So I'm torn between buying this one, which is in a glass container, versus buying this one, which is in a plastic container. Now I don't need this much, honestly. I don't need this much. This is too much for me. I need something smaller. But as I'm packing, I don't want to deal with glass. I can handle this. I don't want to deal with glass, so I really don't know what to do here. I think I should go for this one instead. I'll just go for this one. Guys, so I'm done shopping. All my stuff is here. Well, the focus is on me, so you can't really see it, but it's in the front seats. So home is like 10 minutes away. I'm just going to drive down quickly. Everything I bought cost me like $42. Honestly, it just depends on where you shop from and where you stay. Because if I had gone to like an Aldi, it would probably be much cheaper. Aldi is usually cheaper, so maybe if you want to do this, you can shop from Aldi if you're on a budget. I feel like what I bought should not have cost me $42, but that's another whole story for another day. But it's fine. Well, actually, I just realized that I'm such a dumbass. I just realized that I actually bought other stuff apart from the ingredients I was going to initially use to make this food. So that's on me. That's on me. I should have also bought water, but I forgot. Anyway, let's go. I'll see you guys in the kitchen. You guys, I bought a nice skirt for myself. Very pretty. I'm going to wear this on my last day of work. A couple other things I bought because I want to cook something else, like just have breakfast. So I bought the tomato sauce, and then bought some eggs, bought some vegetables, and I also bought some protein shakes because it's been a while since I had those. Then these are the potatoes we're going to be using. I'm using these potatoes. We also bought some chicken. So I'm going to start with chicken. I want to season the chicken and everything. Guys, I'm just going to freestyle this voiceover, okay? So this is me washing the chicken. I was trying to remove the fat at first, like remove some parts, but at some point I just got tired. I was like, you know what, I'm just throwing everything in there. So I washed it a couple of times. This is like the 3rd time I was washing it, and then I seasoned it right away. So I always like to start my seasoning with onions. I honestly don't like onions, but you have to use it to cook if you want your food to come out nice. So I always add a lot. I cut it up, like I dice it really, really tiny because I don't like seeing it inside my food. And I always have like a small container of onions in my fridge, so that way I don't have to like cut onions every single time that I'm cooking. The next thing I do is just season the chicken. Honestly, whatever you want to use to season it, just season it, because I know different people from different places watch my videos. So right now what I'm using is some Nigerian spice. My mom actually sent these to me, I think sometime in January. Yeah, she sent it to me, so I've been using them since, so it doesn't really feel different. So right now I'm putting ginger. I also added some garlic. I added extra onion powder, and then I think, okay, that's the onion powder. And then I also added some pepper. I like to use a lot of onion powder because it just makes it just makes the food taste really good. Like the flavor is very good. And I also added garlic as well. So now I'm going to turn it around, let it marinate for a bit, and just cover it up before I turn on the gas. I was trying to hurry, like I didn't have the time to marinate it for too long. Usually I marinate overnight, but today I could only do it for a while. So now we're going to wash the potatoes. I did not peel off the back because I couldn't be bothered, okay? So I just made sure that I washed it thoroughly. Like my first wash for it, the water was literally brown. I had to wash it like 3 to 4 times just because I didn't want to peel off the back. And honestly, eating the back is not bad. Like that's the good thing about potatoes. So I actually use a sponge because I didn't use any soup. It's just water. And also I added some salt in there. So my mom always used to make us wash the back of potatoes, and that's why I just learned how to do it and not have to peel the back. So I did that a couple of times. And I just washed it until it was clean. Now I'm going to start dicing it. Just going to dice it because I really wanted the flavor to enter every single thing. I had to cut it into smaller parts. The next thing I did was to put some oil in the potatoes because I was going to throw them into the oven and I didn't want them to be just dry, so I just added some oil on it. And at this point I'm just going to make sure that the oil gets to every single potato. I didn't want to add too much because I didn't want it to be too oily. I was still going to put some oil in the pan I was going to throw into the oven. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to also season it. I added some peppers. I didn't add too much because I'm still going to season it afterwards. I added garlic. I also added some ginger, just some extra spice in there just to kind of build up the flavor a little bit, not too much. I added onion powder, of course. And then I also added a couple of things like, I think, barbecue sauce. I added garlic. See, whatever you want to use to season it. Like, I'm not so... or do this on seasoning, like however you want to season your food, you can just do it. So I usually always add barbecue sauce because I wanted to get that extra sweet taste. And then this Chick-fil-A sauce, it's so good. This particular one, I got it from Walmart. I think it's like maybe $3 or $4, can't remember, but it's so good. Anyway, I kept on mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing and mixing, and just made sure everything got to every single potato. I also added some extra onions. Believe it or not, I don't like using onions to cook. I just don't like onions in general. But I just added it in there just because I felt like it would make the potatoes to taste really good. I didn't add too much because I had to keep some of it for the rest of this cooking. So this is me oiling the pan. I actually distributed the oil. I just didn't capture it on camera, but I made sure that it touched every corner of the pan I was going to use. This is actually my roommate's pan. It's not mine. So I spread it very well just to give it enough space. And when I was done, I just popped it in the oven and I put it on low heat. Okay, so this is like a pro tip. Well, not pro, but this is a tip. Just always make sure it's on low heat, because if it's high, then it makes it to kind of burn. But if it's low heat, then you can easily just check it now and then, and you know that it's not going to be too burnt. Okay, so now we're going to the tomatoes. This is one of my least favorite parts of making this food. If you have stew, like what Nigerians call tomato stew, you can actually substitute that for this. You don't have to like make the whole tomato base from scratch. I only did this because I didn't have any groceries in the house. So this is the one I ended up getting. I used everything. And then I just kind of stir it, make sure that it boils a bit. I don't fry it at all. I try not to fry it too much. So now I'm going to start from base. Going to go in with oil and then add some onions in there. I try to build flavor from the onions, so I added some extra seasoning in there. In Nigeria we call it Maggi. Abi, yeah, this is Maggi. So my mom always taught me to add it inside the onions as it's frying, so that way you can kind of build the flavor in the food, and you're not just like concocting stuff and trying to make it taste good. So I'll fry that up for a bit, and then I'll add the eggs. I think I used about 5 or 6 eggs in total because I was making a lot and I just wanted to make sure that I had enough protein. So everything I how should I put it now? I don't usually measure when I'm cooking. Like, I just measure with my eyes. So I'm not going to give you any measurements. You just cook according to what you think is enough. I was going to cook for the entire week. So I broke the eggs into the pan and just made sure that they fried properly. And that was it. From here, I'm going to add the tomatoes. I let it boil for like, let's say 15-20 minutes-ish. You don't have to do that per se, like it's already done, but I just like to give it that extra boiling effect. So I'm going to pour every single thing inside, and from here I'm going to start seasoning again. Now I know it looks like I use a lot of seasoning. I just have to kind of build it up because I was making a lot. Like, the potatoes I was making was a lot. And this tomato, because I didn't fry it, if you don't season it well enough, it's going to kind of taste alive-ish. After I put all the different seasoning I was using, I added just a pinch of salt because the salt I have here is very, very potent. So I just added salt to kind of give it that extra pizzazz, if you will. And then I added ginger, garlic, onion powder, all that stuff. Whichever spice you want to use, it's completely up to you. I also added some Cameroon pepper in there because I don't have like hot habanero peppers in the house. So I added Cameroon pepper. It's really, really good. I made sure to add enough because I like when food is spicy. Now, this is the chicken I was cooking, by the way. I just kind of shredded it into the food because, like I said, I wanted to have enough protein in there. So I have eggs and I have chicken. So it depends on what you want. Like, I know some people who don't like eating chicken, so they rather do fish. So it just depends on you. Whichever protein you're more comfortable with, you can go with it. Now I'm going to cut the vegetables. I'm not putting the vegetables yet. I'm going to put these particular vegetables last. But I got these from Walmart. I think they were like 98 cents. It wasn't even up to $1, and it was so much, like I couldn't even finish it. So I just try to cut it into very tiny bits. I don't like when vegetables are too huge inside food. That's also part of the reasons why I always cut my onions very tiny, apart from the fact that I don't like onions. But I digress. So I was just cutting it just to have it prepared down so that I wouldn't have to start cutting it like last minute. I had to transfer what I was making from my pan to a bigger pot because I realized that the potatoes were a lot, and so I needed enough space to actually turn the concoction. Now, this is me adding extra crayfish in there because, I mean, I'm an Igbo babe. I love crayfish so much, which is so ironic because I'm not a huge fan of fish in general, but I will use crayfish to cook. So that's what the potatoes were looking like. Before I added them into the pot, I obviously tasted it. It was really, really hot though, so you have to be mindful of that. I made sure that it was soft enough. I made sure that it was good. And you can see it didn't burn at all. Like, there's no extra burning and whatnot because, first of all, I put that oil, and second of all, it was on low heat. So I put it in the oven, I think, for about, let's say, 45 minutes, 1 hour. It just depends, honestly. You just have to make sure that you taste it every now and then. So now I'm turning it into the mixture. just going to make sure that it gets to every single corner. It was a lot, like the tomato base was actually more than I anticipated it to be. So I also added sweet corn, peas, carrots, all that stuff. Like I like seeing greens and vegetables inside my food because I just feel like it would be so boring if you don't add those things inside. Now this is the last thing I'm going to add is these vegetables. I think these are parsley. I don't know how you pronounce that, parsley leaves. If you want to use ugu, if you want to use water leaf, you can use it. Vegetable is vegetable in my book. So I just added it in there just so that it can look more exciting. Now you can see that the sauce is actually a lot, like it was so much, and there was nothing I could really do about it. But I kind of like it because if there's anything extra left, I can always use it to eat like maybe rice or something. So this is how I meal prep. You guys have seen this a couple of times. It's nothing new, and I am currently on a business trip, so I needed something to eat. And even if I weren't, honestly, this is something I do every week because I go to the gym and I have to make sure my food is on point. Hi guys, so I'm finally done cooking. I hope you liked this video. Let me bring out what I made so that you guys can actually see it on camera. Try not to bend it too much. But it tastes so good, like it's really good. So you should definitely try this recipe. Potatoes are really healthy, especially if you're trying to, get on a healthy diet. Eggs are protein, chicken is protein, vegetables are great for you. So like there's honestly nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose, so do it. Additionally, I also made this, although I didn't film it because I was just too tired to film. Okay, I made wraps. I made protein wraps. I made like 6 of them. Usually I make like, let's say 2 or 3. This time I made a lot because I want to have something to eat every morning as breakfast. So thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.